All right, today we're going to build something that is absolutely essential for anyone looking to get into cybersecurity, your very own pen testing home lab. We're going to cover how to set this whole thing up safely and, believe it or not, for free, so you can start practicing your skills the right way. So you want to get your hands dirty with hacking, right? You want to figure out how exploits work, mess around with different tools, and really see what it takes to break a system. But how do you do all of that without, breaking the law or accidentally crashing your entire home network? That's the big question, and we've got the answer for you today. Anyone who's just starting out in security runs smack into this problem. I call it the pen tester's dilemma. To get good, you have to practice. There's no way around it. But practicing on systems that aren't yours, well, that's illegal and a very, very fast way to have a really bad day. So, how do you get that critical hands-on experience? Okay, let's just lay out the options here. On one side, you could try to practice on live, real-world systems. This is just a terrible idea. It's super risky, potentially illegal, and the consequences can be huge. But on the other side, we have the virtual lab. This is a completely safe, self-contained little universe that's perfectly legal to play in, and you can build the whole thing for $0. The choice here is a no-brainer, right? So, the solution to our dilemma is to build our own digital sandbox. Seriously, think of it like a playground. It's your own private space where you can build things up, knock them down, and test whatever you want without worrying about causing any real-world damage. And the magic behind this whole concept is a technology called virtualization. So what on earth is virtualization? Well, to put it really simply, it's just software that lets you run entire, separate computers inside of your main computer. Each one of these virtual computers thinks it's a real machine, with its own hardware and everything, but really, it's all just software living on your hard drive. And here's how it all stacks up. At the very bottom, you've got your physical machine, your actual laptop or desktop. Running on top of that is your main operating system, like Windows or Mac OS. We call that the host OS. Then you install a special piece of software called a hypervisor. And that hypervisor is the magic piece that lets you create and run all of your virtual machines, which become the computers inside your lab. Okay, so we get the what and the why. Now it's time to get into the how. Before we can start building anything, there's just one tiny little switch we might need to flip in your computer's settings. It's basically the key that unlocks all this virtualization power. And hey, don't let this part scare you off. For most modern computers, this is a super simple set it and forget it kind of thing. You check it once, and you probably never have to think about it again. So the very first thing you need to do is just check your own computer. Is this feature already turned on? Let's figure that out. If you're on a Windows machine, this is incredibly easy. Just pop open your task manager, Control-Shift-Escape is the shortcut, and head over to the Performance tab. Click on CPU, and then look down on the bottom right. You'll see a line that says Virtualization. If it says Enabled, you are golden. You're ready to go. If not, no big deal. You'll just need to restart and go into your PC's BIOS or UEFI settings to turn it on. A quick search for your computer's model and Enable Virtualization will show you exactly how. All right, with virtualization enabled, it is time for the fun part. Let's install our hypervisor and actually start building. For our lab, we are going to use an amazing, powerful, and, best of all, completely free program called VirtualBox. I mean, you can't describe it any better than that. VirtualBox is literally the tool that builds these computers inside your computer. It handles everything for you, creating the virtual hard drives, connecting them to a virtual network, the whole shebang. So why VirtualBox? Well, for one, it's an absolute beast. It's super powerful and used by tons of people, from beginners to pros. But the most important reason for us is that it's totally free for personal use. Plus, if you ever get stuck or want to try some of the more advanced stuff, its official manual is fantastic. Seriously, it's a great resource. Now, let's talk about my favorite feature. This is the thing that truly makes a virtual lab the perfect safe space for learning. It is the single most important tool you have because it lets you experiment without any fear of messing things up for good. I call it the ultimate undo button. The official name for it is a snapshot, and what it does is it captures the exact state of your virtual machine at a single moment in time. We're talking everything, the memory, the settings, every single file on the hard drive. It's like freezing time for that one machine. This is a really important thing to remember. A snapshot is a photograph, not a backup. Think about it. A photo captures a single moment, but it's not a detailed blueprint you can use to rebuild your house if it burns down. Snapshots are perfect for quick saves right before you try something risky, but they are not a substitute for a real long-term backup plan. And this right here is the workflow that makes it all so powerful. It's super simple. 1, you get your virtual machine all set up and in a nice, clean state. 2, you take a snapshot. Click. That clean state is now saved. 3, go nuts. Run your exploit, detonate that malware, do whatever you need to do. It doesn't matter if you completely break the machine, because for step 4, you just click revert to snapshot, and poof, in a few seconds, you're right back to that clean state, like nothing ever happened. So let's just quickly recap your launch checklist. Number 1, remember that a virtual lab is by far the safest and cheapest way to get started. Before you do anything, make sure virtualization is enabled in your computer's settings. Then get VirtualBox installed to actually build your machines. And finally, and this is the most important part, make snapshots your absolute best friend. Use them as your safe point before every single test. And that's really it. You now have the complete blueprint for your own personal cybersecurity playground. The foundation is there, the tools are ready. A fantastic starting point is to install 2 virtual machines, one attacker machine, like Kali Linux, and one vulnerable target machine to practice on, like Metasploitable. So with your brand new lab built, the only question left is, what are you going to explore first?